Welcome back to On Base Live in your Bleacher Report app. I am your host, Mookie Betts, and today, we have a lot of very special guests today, but today, this guy is near and dear to my heart. This is the first episode with a manager. We got Dave Roberts. I want to give you, I don't even know all the accolades, but one big change for you is you are a three-time. You were a two-time because one playing and one managing, but now you have two managing. Three-time World Series champion. How does that feel, Doc?
Mook, it's unbelievable. First off, to be on base, it feels good to be back on base, right? This has been a player forum for you, and yeah, to be able to win it as a player, and then to win two as a manager, I think I'm in an elite class right now. So
okay,
that's
so which
always
one's
a good
harder?
thing.
Which one's harder?
I think as a manager's harder.
Why?
I think, you can kind of, for you, the pressure of being a real dude, a superstar player, and what that entails, I didn't have that. I was a role player as a player. So to come in and help support a ball club, win a championship is something special. But for you, Mook, a lot of the focus as a player is very finite. It's you're focused on yourself and your performance, which you need to be. Mm-hmm. As a manager, there's just a lot more things that are under your watch. And so that's why I think for me it's harder, but it's a lot more gratifying to see, you thrive, Freddie thrive, and see the coaches, the front office, and the fans, and you just kind of more in tune with a lot more as a manager.
That makes sense. That's why managing is hard. So, but we'll get to that here soon. First, I want to play a game called On Base, Off Base, where you're in or out. All right.
Oof. All right.
First thing is you could go on tour with Ice Cube as a backup dancer. Did you see your moves? Have you seen the video of you dancing?
I think I blacked out. And when he said that was my ass dropping right there.
Oh, that was ass drop.
So that was my ass dropping right there.
You didn't get that low, Doc.
So I know, because I got a bad knee. So I still know my limits. But man, I would love to go on tour with Ice Cube. I'm telling you, Mookie, this was it took me back to 1988 when I had a Nissan Sentra, a red Sentra, and I had my 210s in a wood box. Because that's what you did back in the day. You used to get a box made. You used to put your woofers in the trunk, and your license plate would be beaten up and rackety, making all that noise. But man, I would listen to NWA and Ice Cube all day long, and so that kind of took me back.
Man, I could tell. You look good. I'm on base with that, too. I think you could go on and be a backup dancer. Okay, so what about this? The best perk of winning the World Series is you win free books at the public library.
Yeah.
I'm off base on that too.
I'm off base on that.
I seen it was going around on Instagram. We'll revisit later.
Yeah.
But it was since we won the World Series, we get free admission to the strip clubs in LA. I said, you know what? We'll talk later. We'll see.
Put a pin in that one.
Yeah, we got to see about that later on. But I'm off base on the free books. Thank you, library, for the free books, though.
Love the free books. Yeah. All about reading, but I'm off base on that.
Yeah, I'm off base on that. Okay, so what about this one? Last one. A decoy should be the official mascot of the Dodgers.
On base.
I'm on base on that, too.
On base.
I've never seen a dog act the way that dog. It's the perfect dog of all time.
No, and the thing is that I'll tell you, that's where Shohei, as we see this picture of Decoy and Shohei, that Shohei is as comfortable in his own skin when he's with that dog. And you know what? My daughter told me the other day, she was like, you know what I think is that when Shohei has decoy, it takes the attention off him.
Oh, it puts it on
And so
decoy.
it allows him to sort of like let people just focus on decoy. So to the point, your point, I'm on base with decoy being our mascot.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think we just get a costume of him made, and someone should play decoy, all the time.
All
and
the
travel
time.
with us and whatnot. Like the Fanatic. Philly
Like the Fanatic.
We
And
need decoy though.
For decoy to learn how to deliver a first pitch in like 2 weeks, that's unprecedented. So if he can do
what kind
that,
of dog that is.
decoy can lead us to another championship.
I agree with that. Okay, all right. So enough of that game. What about this? I want to take me through those 10, 15, 20 seconds of Walker striking out the last guy immediately after. The weight just fall off your shoulders. What was it?
You know what? It was when we won it in 20, it was like relief, and I couldn't even enjoy it. But this one, when Walker punched out Verdugo, it was pure joy, elation, and I'm still enjoying it, Mook.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and it's like we've had all these haters and tell us this or that and the other and all this noise that I always try to, get you guys to block out. And so once he made that last pitch, I just looked to the skies and looked to my father who's resting peacefully up there in heaven, and I couldn't be happier.
I wanna talk about that playoff series there, or not even that series, but the whole playoffs really going in late into the season. We're still playing, so that was a good change for us because the last couple years we got put out early, but we had won the division kind of early a little bit when we shut it down, and so this time we're going in, still playing. Really I ain't gonna say one series off, but really just the last series. And we're going in, you got San Diego. And they really kicked their ass all year.
All year.
So how were you feeling about it? From your perspective.
I felt from my perspective that was the World Series. I felt that at that moment in time, when we started the postseason, they were 1 through 26, the best team.
100%.
And when you play a team as much as we played those guys, the novelty, the awe factor, that was all gone. They were no longer afraid of us. We're familiar. They beat us up in the regular season, so they were hungry. They hadn't won a championship, so I felt that was going to be our biggest challenge, especially in a short series. And so when we got down 2-1,
and we had already gotten put out the last 2 years, so that was already weighing.
That's right. That was already
extra.
a burden that we had to deal with. And so for me, that was the World Series. And so out of a lot of my angst and nerves were into that series.
And then down 2-1, like you said, I want to hear from your perspective, but from my perspective, it seemed like a regular day in July. Like there was no panic. You were still being yourself. The guys were still laughing, hanging out. But everybody was in intense, making sure they take care of their business. But I didn't feel any panic going on around the clubhouse. And I feel like that played a part. But I did feel intensity. But I want to hear from your perspective what you felt.
I think that I agree. I did feel the focus. There wasn't panic, certainly. I think that when we went in there 2 years ago, I think that there was a little bit of we were overwhelmed by the environment. I think that it was mayhem. It was crazy down there. It was loud. And they fed off of that, as most teams feed off the home crowd. I just felt, though, in Game 4, we were ready, and you and I had talked about it. We were ready to brawl, and we were going to find a way to win that game, and we did. And I just think that they're kind of...
And that was a bullpen game.
It was a bullpen game. It was a bullpen game. And I just think that the way they go about things is a street fight, and they try to intimidate, and we were up for the challenge. And we took their best shot and counterpunched. And we got big hits, big performances. And I just think from that point on, Mook, the confidence in you, your teammates, the organization, the fans just continued to grow. And then once we got to Game 5 and we took that lead, I just felt that those guys had no answer for us.
That was, and then our guys were. It's like everybody was just locked in, man. Everybody was just locked in.
And it's like, it's crazy though, is that like when you see talent and then you see the group locked in together and you know that they're not scared and they're going to fight back. It's like, I remember when seeing Mike Tyson, dude, when Buster Douglas knocked Mike Tyson on his butt, Mike Tyson was like, I've never experienced anything like this, and he didn't know what to do. But then when you get a champion and you can knock them down and they get back up and fight back, then you're like, uh-oh. And that's where I felt they were at.
And yeah, I agree. That was, and then so we go in and we play the Mets, which I felt like was a much less emotional series for us. Like coming down, just playing the Padres, it felt more like regular baseball is wrong, but the Padres series felt like an emotional battle. Maybe like winter ball. I've never played winter ball, but the emotions back and forth, the pimping of homers, the pimping of strikeouts, the knowledge of each other felt like winter ball a little bit. And then going into the Mets, it felt like, okay, we got to relearn who we're playing against. It's a different style of ball. I don't know. I wonder if you're from your perspective.
I love that. And not even to mention all the stuff that went on with the fans. You know, Profar in the stands, and then the stuff with Machado. It was like a winter ball kind of, you know, gloves are off. We're doing whatever it takes to get a competitive advantage. The psyche part of it all played a part in that. And yeah, we're going into a different series and trying to figure out what's the best way to prepare for the Mets. But this is a team that was the best team in the second half in all of baseball. You know, they were living with this this whole gremlin thing or whatever the heck they had going on, that they were trying to vibe off that. But I think for us, it was a different type series, but certainly not even close as emotional.
No, it wasn't. But it was fun. And then going in, you know, we played well there. And then going into the Yankee series, we go up 3-0, which was crazy in itself. And then we lose Game 4. And then we're down 5-0 Game 5, right? I mean, everything before then is kind of, you know, whatever. But now we're down 0 Game 5, and you have a unique perspective because you've been on the other side, down 0-3, and you won a game. And now, being on the Dodger, you're down 5-0, and you've been on the other side like smelling blood, like we gotta go. So I want to hear both sides, because being down 5-0 there, I'm like, okay, I don't want to go back to LA. If we have to, cool. But, like, we got to figure out something. And you managed that game differently. And so
I did, Mook. And because I have been on the other side of it, and when you're down 3-0, you're at the point where you have nothing to lose now. It doesn't matter who was favored, who wasn't. When you're down 3-0, everyone is expecting you to lose anyway. So now that, for me, it's freeing. And so they played free, won Game 4. And I will tell you this now publicly, I was so afraid to come back to Los Angeles for Game 6, knowing we still had Yamamoto in our back pocket. But the point being is that if we were to come back, the noise, the pressure becomes real. Because then you're going to start potentially being you know, part of history in the wrong way. A team that gave up a 3-0 because it's never been done in the World Series. We did it in the ALCS, the Yankees versus the Red Sox. And so for me, that was the fear of going back. So to your point, yes, I managed with urgency. Even when we were down 5-0, I didn't know how we were going to finish this dang game.
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。チャンネル登録、コメントお願いいたします。